Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the December 2023 energy update for the Awakening Collective as well as the Wayshowers. So, when I am speaking to those of you that are here to help, right? Got a trillion names for you, whatever you identify as starseed, lightworker, earth angel, teacher, spiritual entrepreneur, helper, healer, like doesn't matter. If you can look at the world right now and I'm supposed to do something about that. My little piece, it doesn't have to be fixing all of it, but if you're like, I'm here to help, this is for you. If you are spiritually inclined and energetically sensitive. My name is Casey Aileen Knight of Luminous Evolution, and I love supporting the helpers and the healers really activate their voice, expand their light, share their soul essence and their magic with the world. And this energy update is one of the ways that I do that. So I've been doing this since 2019, and that's really when the energy got more intense. When I'm speaking of energy, I am talking about the information and light that is streaming into this planet, that's supporting us in our evolution. We're also going to talk about the astrology and how to handle the intensity. Also, about some of the archetypal things that we're going to be moving through and what you can do to support yourself and not get into complete overwhelm. Some people already are, though. And we're going to talk about that too. So, first off, I take a breath into the energy of December and I feel that it's about the cosmic magic bridging down to Earth. This is actually my entire vibe. This is my favorite thing ever. So I was like, oh, yay. We begin in Sagittarius season. I have a Sag stellium, including a Sag sun. My birthday's in just a couple days. So whenever we get into the energy of Sagittarius in the tropical system, that is, I am always relieved because it feels more expansive to me. But and to most people, friends and clients, they feel the shift between the depths of what we went through in Scorpio season, where it's like it's dark and we go deep and it's emotional, it's watery, and then the breath that we take when Sag season gets here with this fiery element of expansion, it just like feels so good. Please let me know if you feel that as well. There is an energetic bifurcation though, where we have people having very different realities of the same time right now, but they're experiencing the energy in such different ways. There's people who feel right now like they are soaring, they are taking off, and this is December's energy already coming into play. And some people feel like they are in free fall without a freaking parachute. So some people are going to bounce between those two. There are people who are almost like, so there's these two lines of people, and some people are almost like weaving back and forth between them, like a stitching kind of energy. So, regardless of your experience, I want you to know there's no judgment for yourself about how you are experiencing it. For the group that already remembers that they know how to fly, because it is a remembering, this energy feels like the momentum that they've been working for, that they have been craving, that they have been waiting for, where there's actually this like go time and it is full of optimism and expansiveness. I have, monitor the internet. I see posts that people that I'm not even close to have been posting, and I've seen a lot of people just be like, higher self integration, possibilities, expansion, and they are like flying. Not gonna lie, that's how I have been feeling as well. I sometimes in the past have kind of like hid my joy, my enthusiasm, my expansiveness, my capacity to soar in that energy when I know other groups of people are having harder times, because I'm like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want it to be distasteful. But a couple years ago, it became very clear to me that hiding that full authentic expression personally was actually hindering and not helping. Basically, if people get triggered by it. That is an opportunity for them to examine that. But I can't dim my light, and you no longer need to dim yours in order to cater to the comfort of others. When someone is triggered by your expansion, by your faith, by your trust, by your evolution, that's actually a gift for them. They might not understand that. They might not take the gift, but it's an opportunity for them to take it if they'd like, as inspiration, as education, and they might be able to do something with that. Whereas if you never share it, they might not even know it's a possibility. And this is the time when everything is being illuminated, and the frequency of your authentic light is the most powerful thing, and the world needs that now. But because of the intensity of this light, even the exhilaration, if you're one of those groups that can fly, um, can really feel it as a bit of overwhelm the second we get overloaded. When our nervous system can't handle that much intensity, then we can be like overwhelmed, and then we can feel like soaring turns into free fall, turns into falling, turns into I don't know what to do. Right? The cosmic energy is streaming in at unprecedented rates. So we require a clearer, cleaner channel for that energy to flow through than ever before. And the second that we are in overwhelm, it shuts down the flow of it. And we can then feel like we are falling and it's overwhelming and it's too much to handle. So the keys for both of these groups, whether you are flying, you're soaring, you're having so much fun, or you are falling, are actually very similar. One, you got to regulate your nervous system. This is such an important key. There's so many ways to do that, but it varies whether you're in this fight or flight energy of, I don't feel safe, or you've actually gone into so much overwhelm for so long that you are in the shutdown or freeze response. So please, there's so much information available online of how you can support yourself. And you may need to work with a somatic practitioner or someone who can really support you. But the nervous system regulation piece is going to be what allows you to actually pull the light through. Your vagus nerve, your entire nervous system is how your body translates light. It's how your intuition works. It's how your connection to the multidimensional works. So we need to regulate the nervous system, process feelings as they arise, right? That means feeling your feelings and not just thinking about them or giving them a name, actually having a tangible experiential piece with them so they can move through you, and working on the backlog. So this is the key. If you are in the falling group, the soaring group, the falling group, and you want to soar, you have to work on the backlog. Otherwise, it's like trying to, I don't know, bail out your boat, but it's got like a giant hole in it. So you're going to keep sinking. More water is going to come in. We have to shore up the energetic leaks, and we have to take care of any of the backlog of emotions, of traumas, of, anything that hasn't been dealt with, really, right? The old stuff. You have to release it. So if you want to get ahead, we actually have to devote ourselves to the healing, to the work. With this, the words that came through were a fervent hunger. This is really interesting because I don't normally talk about it like that, but honestly, in this scenario, in this go time, a little does not go a long way. A little is not enough. It's time for a lot of healing, a lot of releasing, a lot of clearing, and more self care than you think is reasonable. That's annoying, isn't it? Like, I don't have time for that. You don't have time not to do it. It is going to, if you focus on that and you help yourself clear up the backlog, then you will have so much more energy to do all of the things because you will be soaring. But even if you are soaring, in order to maintain that, we got to make sure that we don't get a backlog of energy. We don't let ourselves get overwhelmed, and we just keep allowing ourselves to flow. So this is not new. We've been talking about this for months, if not years, but it just continues to be more and more important as we are switching from people who are able to hold information to people who are streaming information through basically being in channeling mode or in divine flow all of the time. And we can't do that switch if we are too clogged up with stuff that is stuck. So I'm speaking in very general terms because everything that's stuck is going to be different for all of us. So deep breath in, give yourself a moment to give yourself permission to use your freaking tools. You have them. If you're watching this, you've got tools, and tools are accessible everywhere. You know them, but the thing is, are you actually using them? And the littlest things go the longest ways, actually, which is like the most basic take care of your body, like working out and hydrating and nourishing yourself properly and getting enough sleep, getting enough community connection time. Like, it's not all energetic clearing healing work that I'm talking about. Sometimes it's taking care of those really foundational pieces so that you have the stability to expand, to soar, to fly. So now let's talk about a bit of the astrology. And I'm not going into every single thing here, but I work with the tropical system and the archetypes and the elements. And Venus, the divine feminine representation, is going to be in Scorpio December 4th. So divine feminine depths are being explored. And we prepared for this just through the Scorpio season that we were in, where the sun was in Scorpio. So wounding in the feminine is going to be illuminated. You'll see this when it's really a question of that nurturing energy and self-care piece. If you are open to receiving it, even from yourself, I'm not even talking about from others, or you're not. There's going to be a very big distinction here. So we get to clean up our feminine experience, like that and everybody has a feminine and masculine and a inner child, right? But the Venus energy in Scorpio is like whatever is blocking you from receiving and from being in your being and being in flow and being in that expression of your divinity, going to be illuminated, and you'll reap the rewards if you do this nurturing and clearing of whatever is illuminated and don't just like stuff it down when she moves into Sagittarius on December 29th, which is going to unleash this wild feminine power for everyone. It can be extremely magical if you've created the stability inside of you to handle it, and it can be incredibly destabilizing if you don't do this work. So, like I'm saying, the self-care stuff, so important. Listening to your heart, listening to your body, even when it doesn't make sense. Most of the time, it's not going to make sense. Listen anyway, do it anyway. The new moon in Sagittarius on the 12th gives us this double Sagittarius energy, which is capable of actually slingshotting us forward onto a new, more aligned trajectory. You know how Sagittarius is like the archer? So, what I need to invite you to do is formally take time, especially then, to set your intentions and aim on purpose so your subconscious doesn't do it for you. Because if you don't consciously do it, your subconscious will, and your subconscious might take you off path because off your most aligned path, because it's not necessarily trying to help you thrive. It's trying to keep you alive, which sometimes means staying small and not reaching for the stars, you know? Now, we need to enjoy the big Sag energies, but start to slow things down and let it really come into a pause as we approach the solstice, which is on the 21st. Whether you're in a winter or summer solstice, doesn't matter. You need to create time to be still, to actually literally just be. So if you've done the part about clearing and getting rid of the backlog and the density and the stuff that's in the way, and you are able to slow down and relax enough to completely open, you can receive the most incredible series of activations and informations from your highest self on the solstice days. Really potent, sacred, holy days for connecting with your own soul energy. Your inner light is available to you. So, even though Christmas time and all of the other holidays that all happen around this time, right? We've got like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all the solstice, like old Saturnalia. There's just a million different holidays now because it is such a sacred holy time that can make us busier because there's obligations, presents to buy, cookies to bake, parties to go to, etc., etc. We need to consciously integrate the time and make the time to slow down instead of speeding up. That doesn't mean you can't do things, but you can do them more slowly. You can do them intentionally. Say no to certain things so you can say yes to more time with yourself. Now, the sun is also going to be moving into Capricorn at that time, which means it is absolutely this really powerful time to, in the solstice, energetically start planting the seeds that will grow the scaffolding for our legacy. This is where all that Sagittarius magical expansion visionary stuff can actually get tangible and practical. So, the last week of the month, I want you to really let yourself slow down and do that. Like, first, the gestating that has to happen, and then you can start coming into the planning, which people typically do in the beginning of January, right? So, dreaming into what it is you want to create over this next few weeks here, and then bringing that cosmic magic down to earth and planting the seeds so that they can grow through the course of the next seasons. Mercury is also going to be in Capricorn from December 1st to the 23rd. And that gives us this incredible capacity to really vision how to build the new world that we want to live in, that we are co creating, right? Mercury is, we know them as the messenger, but it's also a perspective. It's also the lensing through which we are looking at the world. So, this is a time for the dreamers to dream, like dream, but then tap into how to bring that cosmic magic down to earth. So I want to speak into you as the helper, the healer, the teacher, the visionary, the light that is here to shine and share your light with the world, no matter what your focus is, your niche is, no matter what area you're helping in. We came here for this time. And you need to focus on not the problems, but on what is possible, right? Not what is dissolving and not working. There are people that are supposed to focus on that. If you're watching this, that's not you. Be aware of it. But I want you to know that you're dreaming about the future and then bringing it into your being and living as that and starting to build is is the role right now, right? You don't have to look at everything as it's crumbling and grieve it and mourn it and be like, oh, woe is me, the world is collapsing. It's so we can build the new one as it's happening, right? That means we do need to do all the releasing work. So there is full moon in Cancer on the 26th, just a week after the solstice or right before there. It's an opportunity to release the lineage and heritage stuff that is still stuck in our field that is related to this building of our legacies. It is a fabulous time in that weird time between Christmas and New Year that feels like it doesn't even exist to really nurture ourselves at a deeper level than ever before. Keep slowing it right down. Be still, be with family, be in connection. Do it for you first, and then it will ripple through your ancestry, your lineage, your future ancestors, like families, and the world. It happens again from the inside out. So there's a lot happening this month. It doesn't feel as intense as some of the previous months, but it can be if we don't allow the slowing down, the processing, the grounding in, the taking the time for us, right? This is the difference between being able to soar and free falling. I want you to set yourself up for an absolutely glorious, abundant 2024. So, you're going to take all of this and you're going to run it through what you need to do. I invite you to do a little bit of journaling, a little bit of meditating, a little bit of connection into what you think you are here to really anchor in over the next little bit. And I just want to share with you that I know what my role is here. And it's, like I said, to really help people that are here to help share their magic, alchemize all their magic, and share it with the world. So, if you are someone who is already a healer, who is already a practitioner, who's already doing some things, I have an opportunity for you to train with me to really become a facilitator of epic transformations. It's actually called the Transformational Journey Facilitator Certification. It's a rebirth of my program called Creation Coach. And we teach people how to create elevated one on one and group experiences, from workshops and events to retreats, as well as offering one on one coaching, basically to be the support that people need right now, integrating your magic all together into the systems and structures that I know have helped thousands of people actually go through the journey of transformation. So, a lot of the helpers and healers out there right now are really working with their modality. They're just selling their modality. They're doing single sessions, and that's great, but it doesn't allow for the integration and the implementation. And I know your healing journey was a literal journey, right? It wasn't a single session that you did with somebody. I believe it's time for us as healers, as helpers, to really start understanding that people need support in going through a process or a journey and walking with them, whether it's in a longer session or package of sessions or events, workshops, retreats, like where you can really spend the time to help people actually digest and integrate the magic that you can share with them, so it doesn't just bounce off, or so that they don't, reinstall the old ways of being, which happens if you don't have the integration and implementation time. So I also just want the healers and the helpers and the teachers and the practitioners not to get stuck with these businesses that trap them as an employee, where you're just running a bunch of single sessions and you get fully booked, which is the original dream. But then what happens is you don't have any time to grow or anywhere to grow, anywhere to go, no time to work on growing your business. So you wind up stressed out, burnt out, and a slave to just doing single sessions. This transformational journey facilitator training offers you the opportunity to work less, but make a bigger impact in less time, but also make more money in your business so that you can actually do the things that you came here to do. The money is part of what you need to create the legacy, to really shift the frequency of the earth with all of the other things that you're here to do as well. We got to move the healers and the helpers out of the scarcity and into the abundance paradigm. So if you are curious about what this program entails, it is a 6 month certification, and I'll leave the address for you below. It's at elementalmanifestation/academy.com/academy. We are not only teaching the skills for yourself first, then for group and individual facilitation, but offering you chances to practice them in skills labs and also in our in person event as well. So I'm so excited to be able to share this with the world. I have so much more clarity about how I am able to be of support, and it's such an honor and a privilege. And this upcoming 2024, I have heard a good friend talk about it in as the year of clarity. So may we all set ourselves up for more clarity in 2024 by doing what we need to do here in December. Sending you all so much love. And if I don't see you before then, I will see you next year.